Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Kassler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, and I'm here in Reno, Nevada to attend tomorrow's Hamfest. It will also run on Saturday, and while I was here a day early, I had the opportunity to run into some good folks from Chameleon Antenna, who will, for the very first time, be attending a Hamfest and showing off their wares. And I spent quite a bit of time this morning with one of the fellows from Chameleon. I'll let him introduce himself, and we did a tour of their Sparks, Nevada factory. This is where they do the final assembly of all of the Chameleon antennas. They're quite an interesting little outfit. They've got a product line that started out with magnetic loop antennas and has been growing to include a lot of other antennas too. They sent me home with a few to test. I'll be looking at those in some of the future videos. So why don't we just adjourn to Sparks, Nevada, take a look at the Chameleon building. It's a little place with no name or anything in a little strip mall where they do all of the assembly, and it's what's inside that's interesting. We're doing a shop tour today. This is a chance to look behind the scenes at Chameleon Antennas. And this is John Miller here, who is one of the principals at Chameleon and is giving me a little bit of a show of what happens here. They're made in Sparks, Nevada, which is just down the road from where tomorrow's Hamfest is going to be at Boomtown. So we're very excited to be here. What got you into this? What got you started with these kinds of antennas, making your own?
Well, in a galaxy many, many years ago, I came to Nevada and started riding around out in the desert with some friends of mine. I was not a ham at the time, but in 2003, cell phones didn't work outside the towns, and we were way out in the middle of nowhere talking into Reno from a lake, and I said, I have to have this. Mm-hmm. And that's what got it all started. So it's a good friend of mine's fault that I'm here today.
So what led to Chameleon Antennas? I'm curious about the name. It sounds like it's, I don't know, pertains to some of the preppers or something like that?
Not really. Not necessarily that. But the theory and our purpose for being is providing to the ham radio community antennas that are easy to erect and are not really all that noticeable. Okay, the wire antennas are very unobtrusive and are able to be erected in places where they might not otherwise be able to do so. And beyond that, the loop antennas that we offer are obviously not really in that category, but you can operate with those in your backyard, on your back porch, or even in the house if need be. This is our assembly facility right here where we build all the antennas and deal with all the customer service stuff and that sort of thing. Okay. And we have product built for us, and it all arrives here, and we do the final assemblies, testing, inventory, and shipping from this location. So we've got parts, components all around the shop here, as you can see, and we draw from all this stock. We've got some workstations here where my people are assembling components. So right here we've got coax runs in process here at the moment, and we've got a bunch of F-loop boxes that are in the middle of being built. And we've got another workstation here for doing miscellaneous work. Not a whole lot of machine tools here in our shop. We don't need much, so that's a good thing. We've got a drill press that we dust on a daily basis and use it maybe once a week. And so more components here. We've got mill whips, spike mounts. Shipping is in the back there. Here's the high efficiency loops for the F-loop antenna. Coupling loops that are yet to be assembled, and wire sets. We keep the wire sets on hand to go with the antennas, and we also sell those individually. And more components, wire, solder, tape, various and assorted small parts. And just got another run of coax in, so we're good to go on coax for a while. So here's some sub-assemblies right here for some of the antennas that we'll be putting together here shortly. And here's a couple of the antennas that we currently sell. We've got our very popular MCOM2 antenna. That's very useful in-fed antenna. It's 160 through 10, I should say, and only $125. So it's a good buy and a good first antenna for the new general operator. Another antenna here, the hybrid series, can be used with a wire antenna or can be used as a vertical with our vertical whips. And again, a little bit more versatile antenna, can do a few different things, and not very expensive, a couple $100 on that. And then we have our F-loop that we've had for a long time in the lineup. This is the new 2.0 version, and uses coax or the high efficiency loop that you saw. And then we have a little bit lighter version here that's better for portability, the P-loop 2.0. Also a very popular antenna, and packs down a little bit smaller than the F-loop. That would be the MCOM2 right here. Again, it is our least expensive antenna, which is always an attractive feature of the antenna, but it's very easy to operate. Typically needs a wide range tuner, but in some installations a built-in tuner will match it up just fine to the radio. And it's only got one wire, one 60-foot wire to erect, and it can be set up in many different configurations. A sloper is very popular, inverted L, inverted V, Nevis, okay, horizontally. This antenna can be turned into a dipole by attaching a second wire set. Okay, so you can do an inverted V with the center supported, and if you have the ability to do so. The wire is 16 gauge wire, and it is got a very good UV and low temperature rating, and it's pretty unobtrusive once it's up in the air, and so it does not attract a lot of attention. So that'll be important for all those living in HOA situations, such as myself, and so it's not that hard to hide the antenna. And that would be a good one to start with.
Talk to me about your magnetic antennas. You're famous for them.
Well, thank you for that. It's always nice to hear. So the F-loop has been around for quite a while, and it's been through an upgrade now to the 2.0. And for someone who lives in an HOA situation or has very little to no space to work with, a loop antenna can really fit that bill quite well. Many people use it inside their home, okay, whether it be an HOA house or an apartment or a condo situation. The antenna will work inside the house. Obviously not as good as an antenna that is outside, but if you don't have that ability, then you work with what you have. And this antenna can sit on the table by itself, or if you have a tripod, you can set it up on that and move it around as needed. You can go out on your balcony or your back porch if that works out for you. And they're also pretty good at tuning out noise, since mag loop antennas are generally quite narrow banded. And if you live in a community with a lot of man-made noise, then this might be a good option to tune out some of that noise. So for people who are interested in something they can carry with them, say portable, the P-loop antenna is a little bit more compact and lighter than the F-loop antenna, and would be very suitable for the picnic table operation, or even if you want to put it on a pack and carry it somewhere. You're going to be carrying less weight and less bulk with this antenna right here, so a good choice for that purpose. So here we have an antenna that we just recently released. This is our Impasse 2.0 kit. Impasse is modular portable antenna system, and is probably our most versatile antenna that we have in our lineup currently. The heart of the unit is our hybrid micro matching unit. That's a 100-watt sideband and 50-watt CW matching unit. Provided with this antenna, and the way it is primarily used most commonly is with either one or both of the whip antennas as a vertical. So in conjunction with the spike mount, which is driven into the ground, and then the antenna unit is attached to the top of that, and then the whip's on top of that, you end up with an 18-foot whip that is very low profile and quite easy to assemble and erect. Literally 5 minutes and you can be on the air. So you can use the whip by itself for the higher bands, or for better performance on the low bands, set it up with both the whip and the whip extension, and you'll find yourself getting good performance from 80 through 10 meters. You can also use it as a wire antenna by attaching the unit to something and hoisting it up in some manner and attaching the wires to it and stringing it out as a in-fed, sloper, inverted V, inverted L, invis type setup. It's all very easily done with this antenna here. You can also do invis with the whips as well. These are quite stiff and have very little droop to them, and will hold up quite well at, say, 10 feet above the ground, and quite easy to do that as well. Included with the kit, what you see here also includes a 50-foot run of coax with an RFI choke at the feed point end, the spike mount, and a carry bag that everything except for the extension fits into. And also there's a 25-foot counterpoise wire. Either of this or the 73-foot wire can be used as a counterpoise if you're using the whip setup, which is primarily what most people do, and personally that's what I like to do with this antenna the most. It's very low profile and not obtrusive at all, since it's all dull colors and doesn't draw a lot of attention to itself. All right, so here we have an accessory for both our F and P loop antenna, and that is the power compensator. As sold, both of these antennas are rated at 25 watts on sideband voice and 10 watts on CW or any of the data modes. By incorporating the power compensator onto either one of these antennas, we can bring that level up to 60 watts on sideband and 30 watts on AM or data modes. So, and it's very simple to install, and you can put it on the antenna and just leave it on there if you want to, and has no adverse effect on the performance of the antenna, and allows you to get some more output.
Who do you find most of your customers are? Are they new hams, old hams, somewhere in between?
Everything, actually. A lot of new hams, obviously, since we have antennas that are, quite affordable, that are easy to set up, and again are inobtrusive once they're up. And so that obviously attracts the new ham and the new generals to our market, and provide them with an antenna that gets them on the air easily. And also people who like to go out and operate portable, we have several antennas that work well for that purpose as well. And certainly some old hams as well as new hams. There are some old new hams. Okay, so we talk to a lot of people who are in their mature age group and are getting back into ham radio after being away for some time, and so we do a lot of business with those folks as well.
Do you mind people coming to visit?
I do not. If you call ahead, well, the place might actually be clean when you come in. Okay, but we don't have a store and we don't have a storefront, but obviously if somebody wants to stop in and visit with us, we're happy to have them.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you've got the Hamfest coming up tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow. Setup is today, and tomorrow with through the weekend. Sierra Nevada Amateur Radio Society is hosting the Hamfest and the convention this weekend, and it's going to be a really nice show, and we're very happy to be a part of it this year.
This is your first year at
this will be our first year at any sort of an event like this, so we expect a few things to be perhaps a bit comical, but we'll learn from it, and next year it'll be even better.
So to Dayton next year?
Well, let's not get carried away. Okay. There's only a few of us here, so if we can clone ourselves between now and then, we might consider it, but it's not on the calendar yet.
Oh, okay. Well, we're here at Chameleon, and I've done one review of their P-loop antenna, and I'll have a link on the page here to show where that video is. And I'm going home with a few more items, which I will be doing videos on shortly. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the show. This is Dave, KE0OG 73.